Hello and a warm welcome to this analysis. In this video, I've covered Maruti Suzuki, India's flagship automobile company. Now, Maruti Suzuki has a market cap of 3,08,771 crores with a return of equity of 11.5%. It's almost debt free and has been seeing a decent dividend payout of approx 37%. Right now, the book value for the company is slightly high at 5, while Maruti, the promoter holding is at 56.5%, FII is 21.87%, which is quite decent. Domestic institutions also hold a large chunk at 18.07%, while the public holds a very small 3.5% holding in it. Current market share of Maruti's automobile market in India is at 42%, which is the highest among all automobile manufacturers. The stock has made it into the Jim Piotrowski scanner for a value growth buy. Among the non-promoter holders having the highest stakes is LIC of India at 3.07%, UTI at 1.15%, and the Kuwait International Authority at 1.10%. Now let's try to decode the charts and see what uh, could be the future of the stock from a long term to a short term perspective. So starting with the monthly, ever since 2004, we've seen the stock have a phenomenal performance. We can see that there was a small dip in 2008 subprime, then there was a again in 2011, but from 2011 it's had a fantastic rally, right from, this is the adjusted charts of 800 all the way running up to 10 and 9,000 out here, dividend adjusted. And from there we saw a lengthy period of correction, December 2017, early January 2018, right up to the COVID. So the stock saw a 2 year correction compared to a 6 year rally, a rally which went from 800 to 9,000. That's a phenomenal rally. Now, the pullback, interestingly, of the entire listing, not just from the 2011 lows, but from its listing time, has seen a 62% retracement approx when the correction took place in during the COVID time. And from there we saw a bounce, and that bounce has gone on to give us a all-time high once again, initially in August, and then a good green candle in September. September was a huge candle for many stocks, and we saw that out there. Let's see what the weekly is suggesting to us. The monthly is quite bullish. Weekly is seeing a slightly flat baseline and large green candle, red candle last week, which was very typical among all stocks. And the support in the weekly is now around 9,600 odd levels, from 800 to 600. Pretty decent support out there, because that's where the breakout has taken place with this huge candle in August out there. Let's go to the daily. The daily saw two shockers last week, that is on the 3rd and the 4th of October, huge red candles. And then, in spite of today's gap down in the market due to the Israel Palestine issue, we've seen a doji candle formation at the end today, but at a fantastic support level in the daily time frame of 10,200. Failure to hold this 10,200 would push it down towards 9,900, 9,800. And if we go by what global cues are and how the markets have been reacting to a lot of selling pressure, then it would probably pull its way down, where the next major support is at 9,600 currently. Now, as per this, as per the open interest in the futures, in the last 5 trading sessions, there has been some long unwinding, not too much compared to the OI. While on just today's data, there is some fresh shorts, but again, the OI change is not anything major in the current move down in that. Now that we know where the supports are, let's try to analyze how one could look at the immediate resistance in front of us, and the resistance currently for the stock is at quite a significant one at 10,300 in the extreme short term, and then at 10,400 odd here. 10,400 to 450 looks like a big wall in Ichimoku for the current. We can see that there was some uh, attempt to hold this level. We can see some sideways happening out here. So 10,500 odd, again, two visits in the hourly and then the breakdown. So any pullback towards 10,400, 500 in the immediate short term could see some selling pressure, and if it manages to sustain above that, then we start pushing its way up. And there you go, in the daily also, 10,400, 500 is a kind of a resistance. It would try to push its way up. Now let's try to see where, what it could do. And now in the monthly, I'm going to go all the way pushing it up. Now, because the reason for doing this in the monthly is that the current ATH high of 10,700 was an Ichimoku theory target of 10,700, which are procs, which got reacted. So now, if it starts sustaining above 10,700 on a weekly basis, not a daily basis, the next major resistance above that, a huge one, I would say, is near 14,000, which would again become a medium to long term scenario for the stock in the uh, larger horizon. But if I were to go to a slightly lower time frame, that's weekly, and try to assess the prox move the stock could do, then there is a possibility of a particular, yeah, a deep crab formation. But I'm not going to preempt or suggest preempt at all in this case. We just look at levels. Like I said, important to first take out uh, the 10,700 level convincingly on the upside, and then push its way up, which is, the immediate would be then at 12,700 odd. Of course, there will be some small pauses on the way up, but then that becomes a potential uh, short to medium term level one could be looking at if it manages to sustain up. So, a stock which is overall extremely on the strong side in all time frames, especially in the higher ones. Just that the lower time frame could be in for a little bit of a pullback, like I said, towards this area of breakout, 9,800 to 9,600 odd levels. And then one could analyze it, like, but I would like to put a thing out there. If the continuous global pressure continues, and 9,600 is not able to hold, then the next major support for the stock would come all the way down to 8,700, 800. So, from an investor's point of view, those are the levels one would be looking to add more in a pyramid form, or one could continue doing an SIP between, say, 11,000 or to the 8,700, 800. Pick a bigger range and look for a bigger outlook in it, in the medium term to long term vicinity for the stock. Yes, in the short term, a little bit of wobbliness, no clarity of a major upside instantly in the stock. That the way it has reacted from the top, especially last week's two candles, are quite severe. So one would take such severe candles with a bit of caution, and accordingly move ahead. Now, disclaimer: this is not a trading advice to you of a long, short, buy, sell. This is a video made on educational basis, uh, on the study of Ichimoku, harmonics, and the candlestick theories. Please do your research thoroughly before you take any final decision, and manage your risk, and of course, at all times, respect the stop loss and the levels on either side. Until then, happy investing, everyone. Bye bye. And of course, if you like this video, please do like it, and also share the same, and do follow me.